So today, we're going to talk about a totally different way to think about weight loss. This is a roadmap, but it's for those of us who feel like our bodies are just tired, stressed out, and not playing by the usual rules anymore. If that sounds even a little bit like you, you're in the right place.
I mean, does this feel familiar? You are doing everything you're supposed to be doing, right? You're eating clean, you're getting your steps in, you're exercising, but that number on the scale is either completely stuck or, and this is the really frustrating part, it's actually ticking upwards. You're not imagining it, and it's a real thing.
And this quote, man, it really gets to the heart of it all. This is not about you failing or not having enough willpower. The whole idea we're diving into today is that this is a biological mismatch. Your body didn't just become slow, it was actively slowed down. Let's figure out what that really means.
Okay, so here is the first, and maybe the biggest shift in thinking. The main goal is not to declare war on your body and burn as many calories as possible. No, the very first, most important step is to create a feeling of what we're going to call metabolic calm.
The key word here, and you're going to hear it a lot, is safety. See, when your body is under constant stress, and that can be from hormonal swings during perimenopause, maybe past thyroid problems, or just general inflammation, it basically goes into a protective lockdown. It feels unsafe. And an unsafe body's number one job is to cling to energy, and it does that by storing fat.
And this is maybe the single most important sentence in this whole explainer. You just cannot force a stressed out, unsafe body to let go of weight. It's not going to happen. The survival signals are just way too powerful. So our first job is to gently convince your body that the emergency is over.
And this slide just lays it all out so clearly, right? We're leaving behind that old aggressive model of push harder, create a bigger deficit, burn more calories. Instead, the new focus is all about creating safety, being gentle with ourselves, and making calm a top priority. It is a total 180-degree turn in strategy.
So how do we actually start sending those safety signals? Well, here are 3 things to start with right away. These are non-negotiable. First, never ever skip food when you are genuinely hungry. Second, forget about those really long fasting windows for now. And third, no more aggressive calorie deficits. For a body that's already on high alert, even just one day of eating too little can send it right back into rebound fat storage mode.
All right, so once we've stopped actively scaring our bodies with stress and restriction, we can start to look a little deeper at what might be gumming up the works metabolically. The source material points to 4 hidden blockers that are often responsible, and sometimes it's more than one at a time.
Okay, this first one is really fascinating. It's called cellular thyroid action. Now, what's wild is that your blood tests could look perfectly normal, but down at the cellular level, your body isn't actually using the thyroid hormone properly. A key focus here is consistency, like if you're on medication, taking it at the exact same time every single day. If you get cold feet or that afternoon energy just tanks where you feel totally wiped out after just a walk, that could be a sign your muscles are struggling. The answer isn't more intensity, it's consistency.
Blocker number 2 is a silent but incredibly powerful one, muscle insulin resistance. This is basically when your muscles get a bit deaf to the hormone insulin. So instead of calories going in your muscles for energy, they get rerouted and stored as fat. And the key here is not hours of cardio. It's about sending what are called micro-muscle signals. Just 5 to 10 minutes of really light resistance training a few times a week to wake those muscles up and tell them to start building energy factories again.
Next up, we've got inflammation. Now here's a great way to think about it. Inflammation basically puts a lock on your fat cells. It literally blocks the chemical process your body needs to break down and release fat. For a lot of us, this gets triggered by pushing too hard, not getting enough sleep, or just those wild hormonal shifts. So the goal becomes stability over intensity. You got to protect your sleep quality and create a gentle, soothing rhythm for your body.
And the fourth blocker, one that is hugely underrated, is progesterone deficiency, especially for women in perimenopause. You know, low progesterone isn't just about your mood. It is deeply, deeply metabolic. It can straight up cause insulin resistance, and it messes with that deep sleep you absolutely need for your metabolism to repair and function correctly.
Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. What does a day that's actually designed to create this metabolic calm even look like? Let's walk through a really gentle, simple blueprint.
This daily rhythm is all about creating stability. You start the day with a protein-heavy meal that you never, ever skip. After you do some light activity, like a walk, you refuel within about 30 to 45 minutes to help your muscles. Now, this next one's crucial. A small, stabilizing snack in the afternoon to stop your stress hormone cortisol from spiking.
And then finally, a light, grounding meal at night to protect your sleep and set up your metabolism for a good next day.
So, if you're doing all this, how do you even know it's working? Well, this is where we have to totally redefine what success looks like and start looking way beyond just the number on the scale.
You see, fat loss starts happening quietly in the background once your body starts to feel safe again. And the very first signs are not going to be on the scale. They're going to be in how you feel. Your energy is just steadier. Aches and pains are lower. You're sleeping better. And your hunger feels normal, not like a desperate, urgent emergency. And very often, you'll notice inches coming off and clothes fitting better long before the pounds start to drop.
And when the weight does start to shift, this is what you should expect. Half a kilo to maybe 1 kilo a month. Now, I know that sounds slow compared to crash diets, but for a body that has been under years of stress, this pace is actually proof of deep, real healing. Anything faster just risks that rebound effect we're trying so hard to avoid.
So, at the end of the day, the real signs of healing are all about how you feel and how you function. It's about waking up feeling refreshed. It's about feeling calm after you eat instead of bloated or sleepy. It's about sleeping more deeply and just noticing that your clothes are fitting differently. This is what real, sustainable progress feels like.
I really want to leave you with this powerful idea. Just remember, you didn't fail. Your body was slowed down by a mismatch between what it needed and what it was getting. And by applying these kinds of gentle principles, you are finally, maybe for the first time, correcting that mismatch and giving your biology what it actually needs to heal.
So that really just leaves us with one question to think about. After hearing all of this, what is the one focused next step that feels right for you? What's one small thing you can do to start creating that safety signal right now? Thanks so much for joining me for this one.